found it. My humble pronouns to all the divine souls who have gathered here today. Thank you so much for joining me. So today we are going to talk about the subconscious mind and the chalice, and it's going to be the part 8. Okay, so just to recap for those people who missed, what is subconscious mind and what is chalice? So Thorgrim Seridarian says in our mind there's two parts. Okay, don't visualize, it's not separate. There's two parts. It says subconscious mind and the chalice. In subconscious mind, what goes inside the subconscious mind is all the pain, suffering, negative emotions, guilt, jealousy, that kind of emotions will go inside the subconscious mind. Whereas in chalice, it's all the positive emotions like joy, freedom, goodness, beauty, striving, righteousness, and service. So all these things that is related to positive things will go into our subconscious mind, and sorry, will go into our chalice, and the negative things will go into our subconscious mind. So we have already looked at how we can prevent all these things coming into our subconscious mind. The most important thing you all must remember is just be aware. Just be aware what is happening. Be conscious. Be conscious of what is going in. And, there are ways that you can actually stop accumulating all these negative emotions into your subconscious mind is through observation. Observation means you have to analyze everything that goes in, and self-introspection, observation, thinking, when you have pure thoughts, you don't have negative thoughts. So the negative thoughts don't go inside. So when you have observation, when you look at things impartially, don't get involved with everything that is happening around you. Not everything is about you. Just remember that not everything is about me. Okay, and these things, the challenges that I am looking at, is actually showing me what state I am in. Am I in a good state? You know, uh, what kind of lesson can I learn from this challenge? Okay, always ask this question. If somebody scold you, okay, somebody get angry with you, so you just have to, don't react immediately. Response in a gentler way, okay, and you have to think, why is this? Why am I getting scolded? Is it because something I said? Was it some thought that I had about these people? So a lot of observation you have to do. And is it part of the karma? Is my karma getting cleared? So when you start asking these kind of questions, so you are actually clearing everything in your subconscious mind. So once you clear the subconscious mind, remember your creative mind will start working. When your creative mind start working, then you will see everything in a beautiful way. you know your life will be joyful. You will actually um, inculcate beauty in your life, goodness, righteousness, freedom, stress, self-service, and sacrifice. Okay, sacrifice here is not sacrificing your life. Sacrifice means giving your time to others. Okay, not sacrifice as what we have known. You don't sacrifice your life for the benefit of another person. In PSM, we don't do that. Okay, going to the next one. So today we're going to talk about chalice, the most important part of chalice. What is that chalice is about? Okay, here I'm going to tell you a little story. The teaching about the chalice comes from the Atlantean adepts. Adept means you can call them a mystics, or can call them highly civilized people, or students or whatever. Okay, so what is Atlantic? I always had a interesting connection with Atlantic. Somehow or other, I don't know. I used to read books about Atlantic. I used to see YouTube about Atlantic and all those things. I felt that there's a connection between me and Atlantic. How true is it? I don't know. Okay. Only when I start delving deep into my past incarnation, I might find out. Until then, I don't know. Okay. So Atlantis was a civilized Lemuria and Atlantis were actually thriving side by side, it seems. So Lemurian and Atlantis are highly evolved souls. So they were very, very, it's like they were going through golden age, everything was beautiful. The way they taught the children, their education system was different, their working system was different. This entire book about Atlantis, by Diana Cooper. If you all get a chance to read about it. So she has portrayed the life in Atlantic as a beautiful life, and there was no marriage. There what happens is, if a man and woman like each other, they will talk about it, and then they will start living together, and when they want to have children, they will really do some kind of sadhana, because for them a child was a gift. So, and then the soul of the Atlantean child, the soul will choose the parents. So it was an interesting book to read about. So the Atlantis, the highly evolved, what happened was, and then there became a power struggle. So the scientists started um, creating a lot of, what is happening in our country. You know, they cut the head of the human and put on the animal. That kind of thing. They started creating things as if they are like God. And they started becoming very powerful in a sense that they wanted to control the entire nation. So exactly what is happening now. Okay, power struggle was everywhere, and they were dabbling with nuclear energy, and that nuclear energy became unstable, and that's the one that destroyed the entire Atlantic, and most of the entire, actually half of the world, it's the nuclear power destroyed. So what happened was the Atlantean. The story is two of them. They became all the priests, priestess. What happened? Some of them went underneath the earth, and these are the people that is called as I forgot the name, uh, indwellers of the earth. Okay, and they Agatha. Yes, they are called as Agatha, and the other group took a spaceship and went to their planet. So most of them came from Palladius, so they went back to planet. So that is the story. Okay, so the teaching about Salis came from the Atlantean adepts. So, and then from there, one of the sage took this the knowledge, went to India. From India, he went to Himalayas. And the Himalayas, as you all know, is actually a huge computer that has all the knowledge about the entire Earth. Okay, and it was in 1922 that a sage from the Himalayas gave an extensive and magnificent teaching about it through dictation to Alice C. Bailey. Alice C. Bailey is considered as a master, and she connected with the sage through her meditation or telepathic. We can call it as telepathy, or downloading, whatever you call this, or channeling. So she got all these messages, and that's when she started writing about the book about chalice. Okay, what the teaching says is that every human being there are a mechanism in the higher mental plane which registers all that happens to him and around him, that is related to beauty, goodness, righteousness, joy, freedom, striving, and sacrificial service. So everything, all the beautiful thing that happens to a person, to a human being, okay, it's all registered into the chalice. All real wisdom and knowledge accumulated in the chalice. Okay, that's why they said we must connect with our chalice. Great memories from past lives are accumulated there. Okay, so that's why when people who are sitting in meditation, most of the masters, they can sit, they can tap into the knowledge, and the knowledge that they are sharing is all coming from the chalice. And another sage says that chalice also contains some information communicated from space. Quite interesting, right? So from here, you will either know that you are part of human being, or you're part of a alien from another planet. So it's quite an interesting thing that if you can tap into the chalice. Okay, why must we understand about chalice? It's important because so that we know how to run our life. Okay, this wisdom is used in writing. Okay, that whatever they tap into the chalice, they use that wisdom to write important books, dramas, stories, poems, and painting pictures, in composing music and in making new discoveries and invention. You know, sometimes you watch the movie like the Doctor Strange, the Matrix, and all those things. No human being, I mean, no normal person would have written these stories, And this, I think, the writers tap into the chalice to come up with this kind of stories, and they're actually talking about the true thing that is happening in the galaxy, in the world. Okay, so after the class we can talk about it. Okay, this treasury chalice is treasury, yeah, accumulates age of the age. That means age after age, life after life, and through coordination, association, and synthesis. That means whatever that has happened in a person's life, it's all recorded there. Okay, in the chalice, and then subconscious mind also. Subconscious, as I said, it's a Thorpe says it's a rubbish bin. When chalice is where everything, all the beautiful things are there. So the chalice is like a hard disk of our computer, and but with a subtle and complicated mechanism. Okay, so it only comes when a person starts seeking within. If you don't seek within, you can never untap the chalice. The richer the chalice is, the more influence it has in the life of a person. If you look at at the the life of enlightened masters, you see how beautifully they conduct themselves. Some of them that I know of, they are very, very humble, very polite, and but when they have to be rude, they are ruthless. When they need to scold, they will scold. They are ruthless, and they live a simple life. Simple life, sharing the knowledge with everyone. And the moment they discuss, they can memorize us with their talk and all those things. So because their chalice is very rich, so they just get all the information downloaded into them, and they will start sharing with us. As one progresses in the spiritual path, he begins to have more access to the treasury. Like all of you, you're already in the spiritual path, and you are slowly getting the access to the treasury. Okay, this slowly changes his life. I mean, this slowly changes our life actually. And the day comes when the person inherits all the treasure found in Stelis. And Dorcam says, definitely you all can tap into the chalice, and then once you tap into the chalice, you all will become an exemplary of beauty, goodness, righteousness, joy, freedom, striving, sacrificial service, and wisdom. So that's you. We are all working towards that. Okay. So far, you all understand what I'm saying? I can't see you guys. Just say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma. Okay. The chalice manifests in life as a source of direct knowledge. That means sometimes you don't know answer to any questions, but suddenly a thought will come into your mind. So that is actually coming from your chalice. Okay. A sudden hint of advising direction. For example, you are at a crossroad. Um, if you read some books, they will say they are actually guided by the God. They will say God. Okay, so you're at a crossroad. You don't know whether to take right path or left path. Suddenly, something in your knowing, in your intuition, or in your thought, it will come as take the left. So you will take the left. Okay, but all these are coming from chalice. Inspiration. You are inspired to do something. Impression. Impression. Wait, I have to look up what is impression. So, impression. Okay, impression meaning a strong initial feeling or sense about something or someone. Okay, impression. Okay, something like a guidance also. Okay, guidance. Sometimes discovery. The scientists, when they tap into the chalice, they get answers to all kind of diseases, all kind of, there are so many. You look at the books that written by a lot of people. Where did they get idea from the chalice? Okay, intuitive ideas. I'm sure you all know what intuitive ideas is. And wisdom. Wisdom is experience plus knowledge become your wisdom. So the contents of the chalice is very powerful because it affects many sides of our life and resonate with the chalices that are blooming in each human being, because all of us have chalices, So, it's so beautiful when a group of us, when we sit down and discuss, we don't gossip, we don't talk bad about people, we talk about, highly evolved subjects. How do you come out from this emotion? How do I come out from this feeling of anger? This kind of the things. It's all because we are connected through our power of chalice. Okay. There are many benefits of knowing about the lotus or the chalice. This is very, very interesting. If you know how the chalice work, there's a lot of things that happens in your life. Thinking and talking about the chalice is equal to building or stimulating, developing, or unfolding the chalice within within the conscious mind. That is a wrong word here. Within the conscious mind, consciousness and mind. That means thinking about it, talking about it is actually stimulating our chalice now. Just imagine, the power of chalice. Wow, when I'm talking about it, I can feel a tingling in the back of my head. So, you know, I'm really excited to talk about it because it really gives a stimulation uh, to the chalice within all of us. Okay, when you're listening to me and when I'm talking to you, you know, you get the awareness. Wow, what a beautiful chalice it is. And the chalice will start working on all of us. Okay. Knowing about it means to know what we are and what we need and what is available to us. So knowing about chalice means it will tell you about your true self. Okay, what kind of person you are. Because when you tap into the chalice, you're already a good person. Your manners are perfect. I won't say perfect because yeah, sometimes we do make mistakes, but it's okay for us. We stand above the normal human being. Remember that. Okay, we stand above, not egoistically. Yeah, we stand above in a sense that the way we think is different, the way we act to situation is different, the way we look at problems are different, the way we look at relationships are very, very different. So we know about us and what is available to us. We know, okay, if any challenges that comes upon your way, you know whether to accept it or to let it go, and you know your strength. Okay, I can do this. That kind of the knowledge you have. So all because you tap into your chalice. So in knowing about the chalice, we discover how to use it and to make our evaluation progress in the best way possible. So here the chalice is open, like an open book. It's telling you how to evolve yourself. You know, what I understand is, you see, the moment you self-realize, you become conscious, you understand about books, you start reading about book, you sit in satsang, you listen to a lot of people talking, and then you have this desire in you is to grow. Like, I want to know more, I want to read more book, I want to connect with other people, I want to share whatever I have learned. That kind of feelings comes into you. It doesn't let me sit quietly. you know I can't sit quietly. Sometimes it's prompt to me, okay, have a session today, talk about this. You know, write in Facebook about this, write in TikTok about this. Don't sit quietly because you have so much knowledge. Share the knowledge with other people. I get prompted like that. So that is called selfless service or striving. Striving means doing something laboriously because I want to grow. Why I want to grow? Because I want to know what is beyond this earth. My soul wants to know what's beyond this earth. Or I have a feeling that I want to go back to my home. I want to go there and understand what is all about, and I want to learn. And when I am actually, to tell you the truth, I'm actually preparing um, for afterlife, because the more what how I am living here is what I am going to do in my afterlife. If I start taking it, be just concentrating on my family. uh, I'm not saying don't do that, but as a dharma, it's a dharmic thing. You all have to take care of the family because the family, taking care of the family is very, very important. Taking care of the family, taking care of household, running your life, enjoying life, everything is important. So beyond that, beyond that, the learning that we do, the satsang that we do, understanding ourselves, communicating with other people, reading lots of books, that is going to prepare us to the next life. So the next life, we will know, okay, when the moment we reach there, we will know, okay, I want to go and learn this, I want to do this, I want to do this, that kind of feeling. And we will talk about this later in our class, yeah. So, okay, the other one, in knowing about it, we discover how to use it intelligently to understand the mysteries of life and consciousness. So, the moment we understand about chalice, we become more intelligent. I noticed that because we start to seek for answers. If something is happening in our life, we try to find out what is happening. If there's something that I'm learning, listening today, today I was talking to my daughter. I was talking earlier in our discussion we had about we talked about teachers. You know, every yugas there were teachers, and the teachers' responsibility were different. In the yuga, earliest the first time when human took birth, the teachers were there teaching them how to do farming, how to take care of themselves. And then once they grew, then they taught them how to, you know, how to pray, how to connect with the divine. So, but unfortunately, because their intelligence level was I won't say low. It's not. They were not capable of understanding higher realms. So that's when all the statue figure all came about. And then the statue was put there for us to say that, okay, I can be like this person. Okay. Temples were created to sit and meditate, but unfortunately, and to have our traditional things going on there so that people can connect with each other and meditate. And unfortunately, somebody came inside and became the middle person between God and them. So that's how we evolve. So now what is happening is, now the energy is so wonderful, so beautiful. The entire earth is shifting that we connect with the consciousness straight. We don't need any medium between us. Okay, we connect when we sit down in meditation. I promise you, you guys are actually connecting with your higher self. Just that we don't know about it. Okay, we connect with the higher self. That's when we get our intuition, clarity. Meditation gives us clarity about a lot of things, and then meditation takes there are times when you are, you don't know where you are. Actually, in one book I read that they said that you're going to a different realm, um, a different plane, astral plane or whatever plane. You go there and you are learning from the teachers there. You're learning from the guides there, or you're doing whatever you want to do. And when we are in meditation, or when we are asleep, our astral body travel to different plane. But when you're not enlightened, you only travel to the lower plane. Sometimes when you are not enlightened at all, you're afraid to go. The astral body will only be in the room. So, a little bit, you will travel further up. And, sometimes you can even travel to go and meet the departed people, your parents, somebody that you have lost, loved and lost. You can travel through the astral body. That's why they said whenever we are asleep, we can meet all these people. So if we are enlightened, we can go to higher realm and study. Okay, all these are from Peter Richelieu's book, A Soul's Journey. Okay, and in knowing what about it, we discover the future awaiting us on planetary and solar levels, and we learn how to fill our future challenges with spiritual treasures. This one I already talked about it. Higher physic powers are developed by their radioactivity and treasures of the chalice. Okay, whenever we are thinking, what happens is there's a kind of electromagnetic power that goes on. That's why I think that's what they call radioactivity. When the brain starts sparkling, basically, you can, if you do a test, you can actually see the part of the brain glowing, it seems. Okay, so that is actually connecting with your treasures of chalice. So this is why true esotericism does not encourage us to follow artificial yogas and exercises to develop our psychic powers. That's why they said never, never believe any masters or any gurus that tells you that I can open up your third eye, I can activate your kundalini, because no one can do that except for you. How can you do that? When you do your meditation, when you open up your thinking capacity, your observation capacity, self introspection capacity. Yeah, observation is actually called psychic power, you know. When you have the psychic power, you can actually develop all the other psychic power. So far, okay? Okay, the true teaching says that our higher, can somebody read for me? The higher? No.
No, we can't see also, Tilama.
Okay. Says that how higher powers must be the result of our meditation, service, and sacrifice for the common good. Okay, the true teaching says that, you know, our highest, I think higher power, you know, higher psychic power is the result of our meditation, service, and sacrifice for the common good. Okay, once the chalice is filled with fullness, manifests as higher psychic powers in our future lives. So that's when the chalice is filled with fullness, you know, that's where all the siddhic powers comes to anyone who follow these things. Higher psychic powers, okay. Once the chalice is filled with fullness, manifests as higher psychic powers. What I'm trying to say is, you know, in if a person who has been meditating for 25 years, their powers are different. Intuition works wonderfully with them. They can see their past life. Some of them can bend the, what do you call, bend the pen or bend the metal. Some of them can do teleportation. That means they can actually, you know, some of the gurus you all would have heard, you know, like Sai Baba was, Shirdi Baba was at one place, three places at the similar time. That kind of siddhis all they can do. Some of them can fly, some of them can travel astrally, some of them can just disappear like that. So that these are the powers that if your chalice is fullness is filled with fullness, this is what will happen. So the more we think about the chalice, the more we stimulate it and magnetically draw more energy from the solar angel. Angel is can be like a guardian, like an angel, like a guru, you know. So the more we think about the chalice, the more we stimulate. Interesting, right? The more every time I think about the chalice, so I'm stimulating it, so I can actually draw more energy from the solar angel. Okay, this energy helps us live in a way that we accumulate more treasures for our chalice. So we accumulate means what? We will labor or we will work on getting ourselves uh, to make ourselves better. How do we make ourselves better? By the thing that is by following beauty, freedom, goodness, righteousness, um, striving, selfless service, all those things. So through this, we will actually accumulate more treasures. Okay, but if our body, our lower bodies are not refined and integrated and aligned, the stimulation creates difficulties in our moods and relationship. So suddenly you cannot actually open up a chalice. It has to be a slow and steady progress. You know, suddenly you cannot open your chalice. Okay, that's what they're telling. If you're not ready, your lower body is your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body is not ready. And sometimes when you go to somebody and they just, they say, I can open up your chalice, and they open, what happen is it will create a lot of difficulty in your moods and your relationship. Okay, so that's all for today. So we have learned about chalice, and we will stop here.